It's been a while since we've last had an entry in the somewhat unconventional Mario Strikers series. This series started life back in 2005 on the GameCube and was quickly followed up with a sequel for the Wii in 2007. However, since then it's kind of been like radio silence. So, 15 years on, we have a new entry for the Nintendo Switch in Mario Strikers Battle League. But have Next Level Games delivered a win here? Or is this brawling take on soccer somewhat messy? Well, early reviews for this game, launching June 10th, 2022, seem to suggest that it is solid enough. But as with any game of two halves, things can go either way by the time of the final whistle. And that seems to be the case here, as plenty of reviews are praising the online play, but really call out the single player experience as something that's really lacking. Here's what critics have to say about Mario Strikers Battle League.
Joseph Yaden, writing for Inverse, explains how this new entry is good, but any potential greatness is marred by its complexity, resulting in a game that's held back from being a champion. 7 out of 10. Alex Olney for Nintendo Life had high praise for the core gameplay, noting that what starts off as a whirlwind of obtuse concepts melds into a choreographed dance of violence, with the end result being something he calls a masterclass in competitive game design. It gets a 9 out of 10 and is hailed here as one of the best sports games on Switch. Travis Northup at IGN notes how, although Battle League is well tuned and hilarious fun, it fails to do much new with the over-the-top concept. On the whole, it's described as almost always a complete blast to play, but he adds that the small roster of characters and game modes on offer right now is disappointing. 8 out of 10. Chris Carter over at Destructoid ultimately thinks that this Switch entry delivers, but only if you're playing online or with pals. This review notes how the game may feel light in places for some, but refreshingly simple to others, and non-exploitative thanks to the lack of season passes, packs and the like. It's dubbed a no-brainer for those who can make the most of the multiplayer. 8 out of 10. Daniel Vucevic of Vooks shares how Battle League takes a bit from the first game, a little more from the second, and polishes it out into its own fresh thing, resulting in the best of the series so far. 4 out of 5. Connor Christie, writing at Pocket Tactics, notes how this game is here to dispel any doubts you had about the future of Mario Sports titles, praising the balanced gameplay and modernised online matchmaking. The result? Well, it's described here as an unmissable Mario Sports experience. 9 out of 10. Christian Hoffer for Comic Book notes that although this entry is fun and frantic when playing at parties or with soccer fanatics, it quickly becomes repetitive when playing solo. He adds that the game has some fundamental flaws such as easy AI, underwhelming customization options, and a generally thin single player offering, all of which hinders the replayability. 6 out of 10. Omar Banat, writing for Twinfinite, shares the view that the game feels somewhat barren, but adds that the core gameplay absolutely redeems this game. The recommendation here is to revisit this one in maybe like a year when the experience may be more rounded. 3.5 out of 5. Matthew Ford at T3 calls Nintendo's latest an own goal, sharing how, despite solid gameplay, the overall result is a lackluster addition that offers very little for its full retail price. 2 out of 5. Mike Diver, writing for Gaming Bible, sets out how this enjoyable enough arcade-style soccer game is yet again more akin to the likes of last year's Mario Golf Super Rush, rather than the pedigree of Mario Kart 8. It's another good not great assessment, and another that notes the general lack of content on offer here. 6 out of 10. Giovanni Calantonio for Digital Trends praises the game's surprisingly nuanced soccer gameplay, adding how once you've got the moveset down, you'll find yourself pleasantly surprised at the moves you can string together. However, like many others have noted, he draws the conclusion that this works best as a party game, and that the game does feel a touch sparse, making the recommendation to wait for DLC before jumping in. 3 out of 5. Jordan Midler over at VGC notes how Strikers is a consistently fun arcade-style experience at its core, and it offers fantastic multiplayer fun, but he also shares the view that it's let down by a shallow single-player offering. 3 out of 5. There are links to all of the reviews that I've mentioned in this video in the description below, so do be sure to go and click through and read some of them if you want to know some more about the thoughts that they've shared.
So as you can see, plenty of praise for this one, but it does seem to be something of a mixed bag. My general takeaway seems to be that, just like with prior sports games we've seen on the Switch, like Super Golf and Tennis Aces, the offering at launch is kind of half-baked. Sure, it'll kind of get fleshed out over the coming months, but this trend of kind of launching as it isn't one I'm a huge fan of. Overall, it's seemingly a rather pedestrian entry wrapped up in some kind of gnarly packaging. There's clearly fun to be had here, but if you can get a group of friends online with it, but the solo offering doesn't really seem that compelling. So, are you planning to pick it up? And what do you make of these kind of early reviews? Let me know in the comments. And also, if you kind of like these roundup videos, be sure to give a like to the video and maybe subscribe if you're not, if you want to see more like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.